there are some guys who just look right in a football uniform. You know that they're ready to do some damage.
This is like Deion Sanders. You got to look good to play good.
That's right.
These guys take that to heart, but especially Derwin James, who we missed last year. We talked about him a little bit earlier. He is back, and if you ever want to see how to look, just pay attention. There's another number 3, Derwin James.
And how about Obaniah Okoronkwo from Oklahoma? Had 71 tackles, 9 sacks, and with Bob Stoops stepping aside, Lincoln Riley taking over, Okoronkwo is going to be a guy that the Sooners will count on to make big-time plays, and he looks good.
He looks pretty, and he's got to get in the backfield. You're right. Well, Michael Pinckney. If you wear 56 and you're a Miami Hurricane, reminds me of Michael Barrow, some of those great linebackers that they've had over the years. This guy was only a freshman last year, making big plays and looking the part.
The 2017 Herbie for player who looks the part goes to Florida State defensive back Derwin James.
We talked about it earlier, Florida State gave up a huge chunk of the big number of points they allowed right after Derwin James was hurt. They had to adjust a little bit to not having him in the lineup a year ago, but now he appears to be ready to go. Well, he always appears to be ready to go because he looks great in that uniform. They'll start against Alabama, and Derwin James has Florida State. He's a big reason they're one of the favorites to make the college football playoff.
You just brought up a great point that I think got away from people last year. After he went down, Charles Kelly, he's moving around different bodies. A lot of them were young, very talented players. But how many times did you watch Florida State in those first 5 or 6 games in the first part of the season where guys would have a mental bust? They'd break down. They'd get their eyes caught in the backfield. There'd be a receiver sneaking behind them. I think a lot of that had to do with Derwin James not being there. He's a guy that can play so many different positions, and I think they relied heavily upon him being able to be there to do that. And when he was taken out, Charles Kelly turned to some guys that I don't think were quite ready. After the year went on, week 6, week 7, and week 8, they kind of worked that out of the system. They found really what those players could do well. Now you bring Derwin James back to those guys that gained experience last year. Now I think you're going to see a Florida State secondary is ready to be one of the best in the country.